Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream here today. It's the final night of commentaries before the Olympic break. Yes, I know you guys can let out all your tears. I understand. I know you guys are going to just hate to not see me for the next couple of weeks here, but we're ending off what has been a phenomenal, I would say, like 3/4 of the season here on the channel, of the regular season, that is, with a 2-night doubleheader commentary here. We're going to start off with the Washington Capitals and the Nashville Predators, and later on tonight, we will do the Vegas Golden Knights and the Los Angeles Kings, and that'll be pretty much it before the Olympic break. You look ahead of these two teams here in the current standings. Both teams find themselves outside of playoff spots, and they are in desperate need of getting back into those playoff spots. It is the second of two games between these two teams this season. The first game was on January 11th, where the Predators got the 3-2 win over the Capitals. Starting goaltenders here tonight for both sides, showing off their Watch with Nordic stats here on screen. You have Logan Thompson playing in his 8th career Watch with Nordic commentary. Has a 3-2-2 record through 7 games, a 2.0 goals against average, and a .908 save percentage with the Capitals and in live commentary streams. On the other side, Justice Annunen making his Watch with Nordic live commentary debut. I could not be more excited to commentate Annunen playing in his first commentary. He becomes the 85th goaltender to play in a live commentary stream. 85 different goalies we've commentated. Crazy. But those are their stats in live commentary streams. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day here. It's a Thursday, so tomorrow is Friday, which I'm sure everybody's going to be very happy about. And again, it's another doubleheader for me tonight here on the commentaries. Honestly, going to be honest with you guys, I'm not expecting a huge crowd tonight, and that's okay. The Capitals, generally, they do well in live commentaries, but we haven't streamed the Predators that much at all. And what I really want to focus on here in the next month or so is trying to grow the fan bases of teams that we have not streamed a lot. Exhibit A is Nashville. We have not streamed the Predators a lot this season, only twice, and that's all time. So I think tonight, along with a couple other more streams, is helping out and growing our fandom here amongst Predators fans and all that, and getting the commentary there for them. Because again, we have to hold the motto that we commentate all 32 teams on this channel. So that is all that matters here. And right now, Washington doing their honoring of the players who are going to play in the Olympics. That is Martin Ferivari, Logan Thompson, Tom Wilson, and I'm blanking on who the other person is. I know it's somebody important. But yeah, Logan Thompson going back to the Olympics finally. You look at these two teams in their last 10. Predators, obviously, they've won a couple games here as of late. They're 4-3-3 in their last 10. Coming off of an overtime loss last night against the Minnesota Wild. So it was a back-to-back with travel for the Nashville Predators. So I'm not expecting that great of a game from them here tonight. They're coming off of, before that loss, they had won 2 in a row. So they're on a 5-game point streak as of right now. That's pretty good. And then Washington coming off of a loss on Tuesday against the Philadelphia Flyers. Before that, they had won 3 games in a row. They are overall 4-5-1 in their last 10. The struggles have been real with Washington, not being able to pick up points when they need them, not being able to get on the board or anything like that, but it's really just not been pretty for the Capitals overall here as of late. But hopefully maybe they can get a win here at the Olympic break, have that momentum swing their way as they send off their players to the Olympic teams, and we'll see, obviously, what happens there, of course. But, yeah, starting goaltenders tonight. Thompson in net for Washington. Annunen in net for the Predators. Annunen, this is just, I believe, his 21st game of the season here tonight. No notable lineup changes for either side. Obviously, Annanen's in here, but nobody really changing here for the Predators. A little interesting component. They nearly had Reed Schaefer playing forward tonight. He is not. He is not playing anymore. He is scratched. But when I was going through the projected lineup and I looked at it this morning, it showed Reed Schaefer at forward, and I'm like, really? Because he's a defenseman. If I remember correctly, I'm probably wrong, but no, he is a forward. What am I on? Tell him a casual. Yeah, Reed Schaefer's a forward. I'm thinking of his brother. Or I'm thinking of Matthew. I don't even know if he's related to Matthew. But we've commentated Schaefer before. It's pretty unacceptable that I can't get him down. All right, there is the national anthem here from Capital One Arena in Washington as we get ready for the start of this Thursday doubleheader here on the channel, starting off with the Nashville Predators and the Washington Capitals. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, subscribe down below. It's always greatly appreciated. If you're a Predators fan or a Caps fan, welcome. You're all welcome here. Starting goaltenders on both sides. Justice Annan in that for the Predators. 5-6-2 this season. A 3.17 goals against average and an 888 save percentage. On the other side, Logan Thompson, 18-16-4. A 2.46 and a .912. The fact that Thompson has put up those numbers and the Capitals are somehow still below the playoff line is pretty nuts. It's the last game before the Olympic break for both of these sides. Two very important points on the line when you look at these two teams. It is a matchup between the Predators and the Caps, the second of two this season. And we are underway. Face-off is a tie-up at center. It's cleared back to the right side. Now off the boards is Hendrix Lapierre, dumping it down low into the Nashville zone. Picking it up then, poke-checking the center is Yossi. Caps take it back with speed. Dumped into the zone by Brandon Duhaime as they start off with their third line out there on the ice. Preds will dump it to center. Off the boards now, trying to get to that one is McCarron. It's stolen back then by the Caps. Coming now through center is Duhaime, who will fire it in on Annan, and it goes wide. Now behind the net, Duhaime. Brandon Duhaime tries to chip that one back up top. Kept in the zone, though, by the Caps. It's John Carlson here in the corner. Fed all the way back out to center. Martin Faravari. Back down low then now. It's Roy on the right side. Intercepted by the Preds into the zone. Now Perbix dekes in. Tried to move to center. Stolen back then by Philip Forsberg. Forsberg trying to break to center as well. Battling for it then with Eric Halla. Forsberg a backhand on is blocked by Carlson. Capitals trying to clear back to center. They will get it there. Here's Dubois. Dubois back to Wilson. Poke checked away then by the Preds. Marchessault battling for it on the right side. Trying to backhand that one down low. Cleared to center. Chychrun off the boards then. Dumped into the zone easily by the Caps. Now Annan behind the net. Back down low. Perbix. Played ahead then for Ryan O'Reilly. O'Reilly off the boards to Stamkos. Puck goes up in the air. Deflected off a stick. Now Leonard, the young rookie here, takes it back. Chychrun to Leonard. Leonard dekes through center. Ryan Leonard comes in. Roy intercepted. Predators will take it, try and get it to center. Here's Luke Evangelista through the zone. Evangelista back to Stamkos. Stamkos to Evangelista. Battling for it now in the corner is O'Reilly with Chychrun. Puck is tipped all the way up top. Bank back down low. O'Reilly intercepted then by Washington. Here they come the other way. It's Leonard with speed. Cross ice pass to Chychrun. Stolen back by the Preds quickly now. Down low is Stamkos, who has 20 goals in his last 27 games. Gives up to Weisblatt, who shoots it on. It goes wide of Thompson. Play back up top. Another chance goes wide. Predators' fourth line out here getting the pressure on. Down low, Tyson Jost trying to move it around. Play back over then. Battling for it is McCarron. Now down low, Weisblatt. Ozzy Weisblatt behind the net then. Pass in front to Yost. The shot on is blocked. Still no shots here so far. Banked off the boards then. Back into the Nashville zone. Predators trying to regroup. Now Reed Schaefer on the right side. Kept in by Washington. Up top, Van Riemsdyk fires it on. Save. Rebounds there. And a near chance for Ethan Frank. Goes off of Annunen and wide. And that is the best chance of the game right there. Cleared all the way back down low now. Predators trying to dump it out. Kept in is Sandin, who will shoot it up and out of play. Here, 16:48 into this first period. Face-off coming here now in the Washington zone. Or, I'm sorry, the Nashville zone. McCarron trying to take the draw here. Up against Nick Dowd. And I'm not sure what's happening right now. Referee keeps blowing things dead. Now they kick Dowd out of the face-off circle. Coming in then, Lapierre. Off the draw, won by the Caps. Shot deflects wide off of a Predator skate. Now banking it off the boards is Barron to center. Nashville trying to bring it through. Stolen back then by the Caps. 2-on-2 the other way. Down low now, Lapierre battling for it in the corner. Picked back up then by the Preds on the right side. Off the boards, McCarron. 2-on-1 into the zone. McCarron waits. Pass over! And it deflects off of Carlson and wide. Capitals now break it through center. Here's Duhaime. Cross-ice pass, Lapierre. Backhand in front for Dowd. Dowd couldn't get there in time. Now Yossi banks it ahead then. Stolen back by Washington. They'll regroup here now in their own end. Chychrun. Back over then for Roy. Roy back to Chychrun. Chychrun. Off the boards then. Dubois. Pierre-Luc Dubois up top. A shot. Roy rebounds in front. Chychrun couldn't get enough stick on it. And now battling for it down low. Chychrun alongside Marchessault. Jacob Chychrun getting around the Predators' defense. Pass in front is deflected. Now Wilson a shot. And they score. Tipped in front. I think Tom Wilson will be credited with the goal. I really couldn't tell initially, but the Capitals have struck first on just their second shot. 1-0. Tom Wilson will get the goal, one of the Olympic nominees here for the Capitals. And it's a nice little, great movement by Jacob Chychrun, feeds the pass up top. Wilson just shoots that one. Glove side on Annunen, he's screened in front. And there was no way he was seeing that. Tom Wilson, his 23rd goal of the season. And the Predators take a 1-0 lead, or the Predators, and the Capitals take a 1-0 lead. Puck is dumped back into the Washington zone. That is Tom Wilson's third goal in a commentary. Now a close chance in front there for the Preds. Can't connect. Puck is banked out to center. Here's Beauvillier. Anthony Beauvillier off the boards then. Perbix to center. Steven Stamkos. Stamkos into the zone. Drops it back. Gets tied up then on the right side by Faravari. Fed back down low to the Ryan O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Evangelista. Evangelista up top then Wilsby. Wilsby looks, fires it on, it goes wide. Now behind the net, then Stamkos. Wraparound chance in front, backhand denied by Thompson. O'Reilly trying to feed a pass in front. Caps intercept it. Here they come the other way. 3-on-2 now through the zone. Leonard to Sordiff. Sordiff to Leonard. Leonard puts it on, and it's blocked. Nashville clears to center. It's Evangelista one-on-one with Faravari. Will try and drop it back, and Caps force a turnover. Beauvillier, poke checked away. Preds get it right back again here now. In the zone now, Jost will dump it down low. We have crossed over the 5-minute mark of this first period. And a chance in front there for Bunting is denied. Caps take it back. Through the zone now, Frank. Tips it down low into the Nashville zone. Battling for it now in the corner. Trying to get it free then is Yost. Off the boards now. Nashville will backhand that one into the Washington zone. Logan Thompson now back behind his net. Played it up then for Ovechkin. Ovechkin down low, Faravari. Pass to center. Deflected back into the Capitals zone. Washington will regroup here with 6 minutes gone in this opening frame. Faravari off the boards then. Back into the Predators zone. Trying to get that one down low is Dowd. Hit off the boards. Trying to feed a pass to center. Jacob Chychrun already having a good performance here so far. Assists on that goal are from Chychrun and Protas. Puck is cleared back out to center. Here's a 2-on-1 the other way. Into the zone. Pass back to Marchessault. It's deflected up in the air, as Eric Holla failed to get that one across. Chychrun back up then for Roy. Back to Lapierre. Both defensemen joining the rush then down low. Predators get it back. They'll take it down the other way. Right side then is Willsby. Stolen back by Washington here. Now they'll hold it in their own zone. Off the boards, Matt Roy. Waits for it here down low in the Washington zone. Now Chychrun below the goal line. Pass up then for Leonard. Leonard fans on the puck. Over then for Beauvillier. Beauvillier battling for it then with Bunting. Taken back then by Brady Shea. Washington just 21-9-4 when scoring first. Willsby a shot saved by Thompson. Rebounds there, denied. Puck is tipped back into the corner. Now trying to clear it then is Sordiff. And there's the first real chance for the Predators in this game so far. Here's Sordiff now through the zones. He's got Beauvillier. Beauvillier waits. Backhand. Couldn't get it on. Now behind the net then McCarron. Michael McCarron down low now. Played back over then. McCarron on the right side for Cole Smith. Feeds a pass to center. Yossi with some room. Loses the puck. Nashville gets it back. Evangelista into the zone. Drops back to Bunting. Bunting pass down low. Intercepted by Protas. Now a 3-on-3 the other way. Protas into the zone. Deeks around. Gets it down low to the corner. Will throw it all the way back up top. Right side now behind the net. Protas gets it back. Alexi Protas fires it above Antonin, and I think he got that puck. Well, 11:51 left to go here in this opening period. Tom Wilson from a shot from the point gets the Capitals on the board 1-0 here in Washington. Thank you all for tuning in as always. I greatly appreciate it. Again, subscribe down below if you're new. We are almost 40 subscribers away from, 60 subscribers away from 4,500. So every sub is greatly appreciated. Let's go over the status report here between these two teams. So obviously, reading this from NHL.com, the Predators now hold a morning skate following their 6-5 overtime loss to Minnesota on Wednesday. Antonin will start, and Weisblatt will enter the lineup, possibly for Schaefer. Obviously, Schaefer is in the lineup tonight also, though. Dubois will return, playing in his first game since October 31st due to an abdominal surgery. Thompson is also returning after missing 4 games due to an upper body injury. And then Milano, not playing today due to personal reasons. And then Bogdan Triniev, who was played, I believe, the last game the Capitals played, he was loaned to Hershey on Wednesday as well. Current scratches for both sides. Washington scratching Declan Chisholm, Dylan McIlrath, Sonny Milano, and Gavin Bjorklund. Injured players for the Caps, Charlie Lindgren, Connor McMichael. Nashville scratching Justin Barron and Reed Schaefer. No current injuries to the Predators. That is keeping the players out long term. So there you go. All right, face-off coming up here now in the Nashville zone, talking about Anthony Beauvillier. Need a Wilson and Ovechkin goal. You already got a Wilson goal, so you're halfway there, brother. Face-off coming up here now again in the Predators' end. Shots are 3-3 apiece here in this opening period. About 9 minutes gone. Pierre-Luc Dubois taking the face-off now. Obviously hasn't played since October 31st. Shot from up top from Carlson. And it comes out of the zone. Now Evangelista trying to play it ahead then. Gets it back over through to O'Reilly. O'Reilly comes in on a breakaway. Dekes in. Shoots it. Saved by Thompson. Played back down low now. Wilson up to Dubois. Kept in then by the Preds. Off the boards. Wilson back down low. Faravari. Pass to center. Caps drop it back. Carlson, the Protas, trying to backhand that one down low. Now Evangelista takes it back for Nashville. Here's Stamkos. Steven Stamkos the other way to O'Reilly. Can't convert. Pass back around then down low. O'Reilly. Pass in front to Stamkos. A chance for Marchessault. Can't get the shot on. Too many bodies in front. Off the boards now. Faravari will clear all the way to center. Bank back down low then into the Pittsburgh zone. Or Pittsburgh. Nashville zone. Not Pittsburgh. Behind the net then, trying to move that one around was Willsby. Fed all the way back into the Washington zone. Thompson back to Roy. Over then for Chychrun. Puck slides out to center. Marchessault will dump that one down low into the Capitals' end. Philip Forsberg. Forsberg up top. Willsby a shot. Goes wide. Down low now is Brady Shea. Shea pass to center. Puck stays in the zone. Preds have it. Backhand on Thompson from Haula. Goes wide. Now down low, Haula. Pass to center. Save by Thompson. And some pressure for Nashville. Jonathan Marchessault, a nice play in front. But Logan Thompson in his first game back since the end of January keeps it a 1-0 game for the Caps. Like what I'm seeing. I mean, again, as I mentioned, Logan Thompson, if you want to look at consistency in live commentaries, he's been very, very consistent. That's a trivia question, my bad. Thompson, 3-2-2 in 7 live commentaries, a 2.0 goals against and a 908 save percentage. Very, very good in live commentary streams. Face-off one with the Preds. Now Josi down low. Backhand off the boards. Goes back all the way to the right side. Kept in the zone, though, by the Preds. Barron up top to Josi. Josi back to Schaefer. Schaefer fires it. And that one's denied by Thompson. And I believe that did get on. Hit back down low. And a penalty coming up here against the Preds. 6-on-5 now for the Caps. Dowd will drop it back. Thompson plays it over then for Van Riemsdyk as he's heading to the bench. Now the Capitals will regroup here in their own end. Behind the net now is Rasmus Sandin. He'll hold this puck as a delayed penalty here against the Preds. Back down low now, Protas. Protas drops it back to Carlson. Capitals just kind of looking for the right way of entry. Here's Chychrun. Chychrun through the zone. Pass back down low. A backhand on is just wide. Now Strome. Strome up top. Chychrun. Chychrun to Strome. Can't complete. Preds touch. And now the Predators will touch, and we will see the first power play of the game. It will go to Washington. And it looks like it's against, I think that's Willsby? No, Ozzy Weisblatt head into the box for tripping. That being said, it is time for our Watch with Nordic trivia question of the night. This trivia question comes from the Predators game notes. So, Roman Josi broke the all-time, Roman Josi is now third place in all-time game-tying goals in the third period by a defenseman. Which 2 other defensemen rank first and second? I'm going to give you guys some hints on this. The first one is a iconic defenseman for the Detroit Red Wings. And I'll give you the hint for the other one here in a couple of moments. Feel free to maybe do some research on this one. It's not the greatest question. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of forgot that I had to do this. I forgot I had to do the trivia question. Busy day for me today, so Kind of had to come up with that one pretty fast, but if you guys can guess what the answers are. It's by a defenseman. Power play coming up now for the Capitals. It'll be the first power play now of the game. So Tom Wilson from Protas and Chychrun. Wilson, that's his 7th point in a commentary stream. Chychrun gets his 10th. Protas gets his 6th. So Ozzy Weisblatt will head to the box. We will get a Washington power play. Face-off won by the Caps. Leonard up top, Chychrun. Shot on is blocked. Kept in, though, by the Caps. Leonard to Ovechkin. Down low then. Wilson backhand pass in front to Strome. Couldn't get it there in time. Battling for it down low now. Strome gets it back. Fed up top, Chychrun. Chychrun at the point. Jacob Chychrun back over then. Strome to Chychrun. Chychrun back to Ovechkin. Ovechkin to Chychrun. Puck slides out to the neutral zone. And Caps will be forced to regroup. Capitals power play tied for 29th in the NHL. It's been really bad this season, which is a little bit surprising considering the fact that you have some really good offensive talents on your back end and on your team. Here's Strome now dumping it down low into the Nashville zone. Annunen gets it first. Washington offsides. Shorthanded, here's Hala, shot, saved by Thompson. O'Reilly was there for the rebound. Couldn't connect. 8 minutes to go in the first period. Sordiff through the zone. Deeks back down low, behind the net now. Played over then. Back up top for Dubois. Dubois trying to fire that one down low. Puck slides to center. Now Ethan Frank. Back up then for Carlson. Carlson into the zone. Stolen back then by the Preds and shot all the way down the other way. 30 seconds to go already on the power play. Not a great power play here for Washington. Dubois will get held up against the boards. Preds will clear. Yikes. Can't even really enter the neutral, the offensive zone. Here's Strome. Deeks it into the zone. Now Dubois shot. He scores! Pierre-Luc Dubois, welcome back. And late on that power play, the Caps take a 2-0 lead. His first game since October 31st. Welcome back, Pierre-Luc Dubois. And that's got to feel good for him. He's been out since late October, as I said, with an abdominal surgery. And now he's able to connect here for the Capitals. Nice little shot from the pass from Strome. And roofs it right down the middle. And the Capitals have now taken a 2-0 lead. Assist on that goal is Strome. Now a backhand down low, or at least they try to backhand that one down. And what was otherwise looking like a really bad power play for the Capitals is now converting itself and looking great. Assist on that goal, Dylan Strome and John Carlson. Just his 7th point of the year. Again, that's been, you look at Washington and their struggles, you obviously can't put all of it on Dubois, or you can't put all of it on, Dubois being out, but he played a factor for sure. Nashville sucks. Yeah, not a good game. They are on a back-to-back with travel, to be fair, so I don't want to beat down on them that much, but Predators now will break it through center. Puck slides all the way back into the Washington zone. Faravari gets knocked down. Forsberg trying to move to center. Banked off the boards down to Protas. Kept in then by Yossi. Yossi up top. Fires it on. Saved by Thompson. Who will cover? I don't know. Stamkos has been good recently, though, CJ. He has 20 goals in his last 27 games. Stammer's been good recently, but he's not really what he once was. Shots 8-5 Nashville here in this opening period. They've outshot the Caps, but the Capitals have gotten the better chances on Annunen. O'Reilly now taking the draw against Sordiff. They will kick him out now. Stamkos comes in. 6:20 on the clock. Face-off won by the Preds. O'Reilly up top, blown dead. Due to another face-off violation, so that's fun. It's like 40-year-olds in WWE right now. They got their mix of young guys, but it does kind of feel like a retirement home with, Stamkos, O'Reilly there. I imagine they may trade some of those guys. Off the boards now, it's Wilson, cross-ice pass to Sandin. Into the zone, drop down low then Sordiff. Justin Sordiff throwing around behind the net then Protas. Protas fed up top. Top Sandin. Sandin waits, dekes around trying to get to the shooting lane. Will come below the goal line, circle back up top. Drops it down low then to TVR. Down low now behind the net, trying to play it was Wilson. Stolen back then by the Preds, who will chip it all the way to center. Hopefully with Barry Trotz stepping down. I mean, again, was never really a fan of him as the GM. Maybe things will get better. Puck slides in then on Annunen and Wilson battling for it. Pass to center, stolen back then by Nashville. Evangelista trying to poke check it through center. Carlson will dump it down low into the Nashville zone. McCarron back over down the bunting. Stolen back then by Washington. Up top, Chikrin fires it on. Saved by Annunen. Rebounds there. Bavillier gets it back up top. Chikrin down low to Carlson. Carlson tried to throw across that pass. Bavillier is shot saved. Rebound screaming for that puck in front. Backhand on. Denied. And kept out. And we'll head to commercial break here real quick. Shots 9-8 in favor of the Preds. Pierre-Luc Dubois, welcome back. 2-0. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. We do commentary streams for all 32 teams, hence doing Nashville here. We haven't done the Preds that often. The last time we did Nashville was mid-December. It was I think a 4-1 win for the Preds. It was Philip Forsberg who scored a hat trick in that game. Only streamed them twice before. Again, I mean, as I always talk about, we're a channel that talks about all 32 teams. I know it would be so much better if I just streamed all the good games and just did all the games where they got me views, but these are the streams that are sometimes pretty fun, commentating the teams that don't get as much recognition around the NHL. But Pierre-Luc Dubois, his first goal of the season. Making the video clip here really fast. The neutral, the offensive. Showing off the 2008 draft class. 3 of the top 5 players are playing in this game. Obviously, Steven Stamkos up at the top. Then Roman Josi and John Carlson all in the top 5 for the 2008 draft. Shot from the point, saved by Annunen. He will cover. No sound. Try refreshing your page. There's sound for me. If there's no sound, try refreshing. Shot from the point. Ovechkin goes wide. Through center now. Preds bring it in. A shot there from Willsby. Penalty coming up here against Washington. Fed back up top then. Cleared around behind the net. Caps will get to it. And touch. So now we will see the Predators get a chance to cook their power play up. It's been even in terms of the shots, more or less. And it's Ovechkin who will head to the box. And yeah, getting knocked down there is McCarron. So now we will see Washington head to the kill. Predators power play 13th in the NHL. Actually not that bad. Down low now. Stammer a shot. Save there by Thompson. Cleared the other way by the Capitals. Back into the Nashville zone immediately off that play. Roman Josi now down low through the zone. Josi tried deking in one-on-one. Thompson kicks it away. Puck is chipped all the way back into the Nashville zone. Fun little tidbit here about Steven Stamkos. He is now 7th all-time in power play goals in NHL history, tied with Brendan Shanahan. At the point, Marchessault to Josi. There's Stamkos. Stamkos right side. Down low then Marchessault. Waits, fires it. And saved by Thompson. It was in his chest, and now a whistle is blown dead as the puck was eventually dropped. Carlson getting into it then with O'Reilly. Marchessault talking to Thompson. 2 former teammates there, I believe. I believe they were, right? Or maybe they just missed each other. I'm not 100% sure. Good play there by Thompson. Hold the post on the right side. Nearly allowed a goal, but stands tall so far. Face-off coming here now in the Washington zone. Stamkos now versus Dowd. Face-off won then by the Capitals. Around behind the net then. Wilson will clear down the other way. Halfway through the Nashville man advantage. Through center now, Josi. Josi drops it back to Marchessault. Marchessault to Forsberg. Down low now, Marchessault battling for it. Forsberg trying to feed that one up top to Wilson. Puck slides up to the point, Josi. Josi to Forsberg. Forsberg fires it. Goes back down low behind the net. Taken back then by Washington and cleared all the way back in on Annunen. Nashville steals it back now behind the net. Brady Shea through center. Final couple seconds here of the power play. Sandin trying to chip that one around. Kept in by Barron. Tried to shoot that one directly on. Now down low, Holla. Dumped around behind the net, Evangelista. Evangelista up top then, Bunting. Bunting tried to clear a pass down low. Capitals steal. They will get it to center. Here's a 2-on-1 the other way. It's Beauvillier with Ovechkin. Pass up top then, Protas. Protas comes in front. And Ovechkin's knocked down. Caps fans want a penalty. And a whistle is blown. But it wasn't by the linesman. And now we get Sandin getting into it there with Holla, who defending his captain. And it looks like that will be a penalty. I love the referee blew the whistle. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter who blows it, actually. So now Washington, immediately after killing off the Nashville penalty, they will head to the power play. And trying to make it a 3-0 game. And it'll be Brady Shea who will head to the box for tripping. So Ovechkin takes a penalty. His team kills it off, and now he draws a penalty. Caps to the power play. Washington 1 for 1 on their power play tonight, with their only shot coming from Pierre-Luc Dubois. Face-off here now, won by the Preds. Down low now, trying to clear that one out of the zone. McCarron off the board, Strome. Poke checked away to center. Now Chychrun will be forced to hold it. 2 minutes to go in the first period. This power play will basically carry on for most of the rest of this first period. Cleared back down low now behind the net. Trying to get that one away, then off the boards, McCarron. McCarron trying to throw a centering pass. Ovechkin up top. Shot on. Goes off Annan and wide. Played back to center, and McCarron tried to break that one through, but it stumped directly back into the Washington zone. Caps bring it through center. Chychrun sends a pass down low then. Sordiff back to Strome. Strome dekes in up top then. Sordiff. Sordiff back to Leonard. Now Weisblatt battling for it. Stolen back then by Nashville. Short-handed. Yossi runs down the clock. Now Wilsby will feed a puck up back to Haula. Back down low to Yossi. Yossi will slap shot that one back into the Washington end. We are now in the final minute of play here in the opening period. Dubois through the zone now. Sordiff. Sordiff to Ovechkin. Ovechkin doesn't shoot it. Poke checked away there. Racing for now with speed. Into the zone is Wilsby. Good job shorthanded. Perbix fires it behind the net then to McCarron. McCarron then battling forward here in the corner. Trying to get that one free now, Sordiff, with 30 seconds to go. Capitals regroup now in their own end. Power play will wind down. A underwhelming power play, that's for sure. Chychrun into the zone. Pass back down low then as losing his feet there was Leonard. Puck comes all the way back into the Washington zone. It'll be an icing against the Predators with 8 seconds left. My nose is still freaking itchy. Thank you all for tuning in. Like the stream down below if you're new. Helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the chat. The more likes it gets. Face off in the Nashville zone. Dowd versus O'Reilly. Final 10 seconds. Face-off won by the Preds. They will clear all the way out to center. 5 seconds now. Regrouping back in his own zone is Sandin. And that'll pretty much do it for the opening period. 20 minutes of play in the books. 2 goals from Tom Wilson and Pierre-Luc Dubois make it a 2-0 lead for Washington as we head into the first intermission. That being said, folks, speaking of which, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We'll be back for the start of the second period momentarily. Stick around for the intermission report. We will go over the games so far. We'll talk about the games going on in the NHL tonight. And then we'll go over some recent news around the NHL as well. Not a ton of news as of today, but there was some stuff that happened yesterday that we can certainly talk about as well. Give me a second to take a breather here, and then we'll get into our intermission report.
We're working together and growing together. Where ambition meets intuition, and where best in class meets best in community. That's unity. That's Diamond Credit Union. Traction that counts. More on demand. Comfort that expands. Welcome to the Genesis GB70 and GB80. Get 3.99% APR for 60 months on select Genesis vehicles. Exclusively at your Philadelphia area Genesis retailer.
Winner gets
neutral,
the $20 million payout with top prizes of $2.5 million.
the neutral, the zone.
Just you wait.
Here's Strome.
Rematch next week.
Ekes it into the zone now. Dubois shot. He scores! Pierre-Luc Dubois! Welcome back! And late on that power play, the Caps take a 2-0 lead. His first game since October 31st. Welcome back, Pierre-Luc Dubois. All right, first intermission report here from Capital One Arena. It's a 2-0 lead for the Capitals here in each team's last game before the Olympic break. Let's go through the goals that have gone down respectively, starting off with Tom Wilson's goal. And this is just a great movement by Jacob Chychrun to evade the Nashville defense. He's obviously down low behind the net. A pass up top to Wilson, who fires it through the traffic and gets it past Justice Annunen, and the Capitals have a 1-0 lead. Later on in that period, Capitals on the power play. They're struggling to get the puck in the offensive zone. Strome dekes in, drops it back to Pierre-Luc Dubois, and he scores his first goal since Halloween of last year. Or his first goal of the year in his first game since Halloween of last year. And the Caps have a 2-0 lead here tonight. No multi-point games so far, but assists on each of the goals. Wilson just one from Chychrun. They took away the Protas assist earlier. And then Dubois from Strome and Carlson.
Nobody ever said life that chicken for Popeyes. We're dealing with something strong. That shattered crunch.
So good to see PLD connect. Although it is a 2-0 score, Nashville is still keeping up here. Shots are 11-11 apiece. They were dead even in that first period. Things have pretty much stayed the same. So to be honest with you, it's not like they're getting dominated here by the Capitals. It just does kind of look like that because of the score. But Nashville's getting their shots on. They're playing well. I think, again, obviously, the one shot, I don't really put that on Annunen because it was a shot from the point through traffic. And then the other goal from Dubois, he could have had that. It was through the center. You do have to acknowledge that Nashville is on a back-to-back with travel. Regardless of that, though, still got to play. You got to play the hand you're dealt. But Capital is definitely the better team in that period for sure. Beer run? Huh. Hey, that's elite. Beer run's an elite idea. Let's take a look at the other scores around the NHL going on. Again, there are 6 other games going on in the NHL tonight. 5 of them having a 7 o'clock or 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time puck drop. So a lot of these games are corresponding at the same time with each other. Take a look at the first game here. It's Senators versus Flyers. That is scoreless after 20 minutes of play there from Philadelphia. Shots were 8-2 Ottawa in that first period. Penguins Sabres 2-1 in favor of the Sabres, or the Penguins. Avery Hayes, who is playing in his NHL debut tonight, has 2 goals in the first period. He is active tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it's been great to watch. Devils and Islanders scoreless after 20 minutes of play. Shots were 5-2 Devils in that first period. Hurricanes and Rangers, 1-0 lead for the Hurricanes after 20 minutes there. Andrei Svechnikov scores his 21st of the year. Panthers and Lightning, the only other game that is currently going on. Brandon Hagel, halfway through the first period, opens up the scoring. And that first period is still going on, but right now it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. And then the only other game, which is later tonight, we will be live for it. And that is Kings and Golden Knights. So later on tonight, that'll be our last stream before the Olympic break. We'll be live tomorrow, though. We are streaming some college hockey tomorrow. We got Michigan versus Michigan State. Should be a pretty fun game tomorrow. That's the other game on our commentary slate. And then we will not be live again till Thursday morning for 2 Olympic commentaries. So it's looking pretty good here for the commentaries. Obviously, daily videos here on the channel still. Promised that during the Olympic break I would get back to being more consistent with that. It's just been difficult with school. I started school last week, back for second semester of college.
The 120 million payout with top prizes of 2.5 million. Oh, it's on.
All right.
Just you wait till next time.
Rematch next week?
Let's play it by ear. Keep on scratching.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis? With fewer symptoms from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, where would you go? Imagine being a million miles away. With Trufaya, clear skin is possible. And for adults with active psoriatic arthritis, Trufaya goes beyond the skin.
All right. Yeah, great story tonight. Avery Hayes, in his NHL debut over with the Pittsburgh Penguins, scores 2 goals in his first period NHL debut. So probably a pretty feel-good moment there for Hayes and his family. That was Pierre-Luc Dubois' first goal in a commentary stream, for those who were wondering. Just updating the goals here on the all-time spreadsheet. All right, I'm going to go grab some waters really quick. I forgot to do that before I started, so I will be right back.
Made with quality. Made to care for you every day. With over 50 years of expertise behind every bottle. Nature.
All right, I have returned. Sorry about that.
Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. MGM National Harbor. Monumental happens here at MGM National Harbor. And by Iron Bow. Visit them at ironbow.com.
Let's hear from Pierre-Luc Dubois in his return without choking.
Didn't take long to be able to make his debut, a good one, coming back from injury. Before we talk about the goal, how did that first period go to you? it wasn't perfect. Games lost last 7-1 I played 3 months ago, but baby steps. So good players out there for me to play with, so they make my life a lot easier. That goal certainly looked like classic failed to ball goal. Getting it away quickly seemed to be the key there too. Yeah, watching the game up in the stands.
All right, still in intermission. Says we got a little less than 5 minutes till the start of the second, so getting there. We are getting there. Oh, it's Star Wars night in Capital One Arena. Star Wars night was always my favorite theme. Really nothing else came close to it, honestly.
Local roots meet family trees, where high tech meets high, and where I wish meets here's how. That's unity. That's Diamond Credit Union.
All right. So we'll be live later tonight for Kings and Golden Knights tomorrow. First college hockey stream of the season, Michigan versus Michigan State. And then Canada versus Czechia, followed by Latvia versus the United States on Thursday, will be our first batch of Olympic Games here in this year's Olympics. We will only have 4 preliminary games, followed by a couple of the playoff bracket games, and then we'll do, I know for sure we're doing the gold medal. It's just I don't know who it would be.
Get medical help right away if your breathing doesn't improve or worsens, or for serious allergic reactions like rash, mouth or tongue swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing, or chest pain. Using Air Super more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include increased risk of thrush or infections, or heart problems like faster heart rate and higher blood pressure. Ask your doctor if Air Super is right for you.
That's rough. At least with Safe Flight, you can get that fixed any way you want.
Ba-da-bum-bum, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Get it fixed any way you want at SafeFlight.com.
If history has taught us anything, it's not to root against the underdog. And pain to know what's coming. Every great leap began with a bold first step. And there's no shortage of second chances. Against impossible odds. Few can slow you down. Calcium. Trade on anything.
TaxAct is a gig worker's best friend. You might think their spouse or dog is their best friend, but when's the last time your dog optimized your itemized tax deductions?
All right. Second period coming up here in moments.
Right now, this season is unpredictable. The East is wide open, while the West challenges the Thunder. So for Inside, Primetime, Showcase.
Alrighty, let's get ready for the start of period number 2 between the Washington Capitals and the Nashville Predators here tonight. First period recap, goals were scored by Tom Wilson and Pierre-Luc Dubois, as the Capitals have a 2-0 lead here heading into period number 2. Let's take a look at the stats through 20. Shots were 12-11 in favor of Washington. Face-off percentage was a clean 60% in favor of the Capitals. Power plays, Nashville 0 for 1, Washington 1 for 2. Hits were 6-5 Nashville, and block shots were 5-4 Washington. As we are getting ready for period number 2, Monumental Sports doing a little analog thing honoring one of the Caps workers. All right, start of the second period here as the two players enter the ice. I wish I knew that before I read off all the stats. It'll be 5-on-5 here. It is just the one of 5 other games going on. All right, let's get ready here for period number 2. Face-off coming up in the matter of seconds. Take forever to go through their intro. Nice little crowd in Washington. Final game before the Olympic break until February 25th. So a lot of time here between then and now. We'll be live for plenty of commentary streams before then and now. Don't worry. Face-off coming here now at center ice. It's Dubois versus Stamkos. Highlighting Nashville, 17 comeback wins. Second most in the NHL this year. And period number 2 has begun. Puck dumped into the Nashville zone, icing against the Capitals, and that's how we'll start off this middle frame. Face-off coming up here now on the Washington end. Again, both teams definitely need these 2 points. Capitals trying to push themselves back into a playoff spot. And if they're going to do that, they need to get into a divisional spot, because getting into one of those wild card spots will be difficult. Here's Haig up top, clearing it back down low behind the net. Washington just 1 regulation loss when leading after period number 1. Here's Perbix up top, fires it on, saved by Thompson. Taken back then by Wilson. Through the boards now, it's Ethan Frank, who will regroup now in his own end. Frank through center then. Dubois comes in, drops it back. Pass in front for Wilson. Puck slides all the way up top. Now Chychrun fires it. Save there by Annunen. Wilson behind the net then, fed back up top to Chychrun. Chychrun gets around Evangelista. Caps trying to move the puck. It's intercepted. Evangelista broken up then by Protas. Back to Chychrun. Chychrun past the center. And just kind of not in the right place. Nashville dumps it back into the Washington zone. They will get a line change. Shots 13-12 in favor of Washington. Here's Roy now through the zone. Roy dumps it down low. Now Annunen behind the net will clear that one all the way around. Kept in the zone then by Beauvillier. Anthony Beauvillier will bank that one off the boards all the way back up top. Chychrun fires it down low now to the corner. Roy trying to come in. Down below the goal line, fires it on. It goes up in the air and out of play.
Folks, just a reminder for the 11th year in a row, Burke and Herbert Bank, donating $100 for every Capitals goal scored to a deserving local nonprofit organization. This season's Goals for Good recipient is United Community. Their Family Achievement Program is a proven pathway to economic
Awesome. Royals down 3-1. Face off here now in the Nashville zone. It's won by the Preds. Josi. Up and ahead then into the zone. Barron drops it back. Up top, Josi. Josi trying to move to center. Wrap around behind the net. Back in front. And nobody's there to tuck it in. Now Smith battling for it in the corner. He's hit off the puck. Now Strome trying to clear. Kept in, though, by the Preds. Michael Bunting. Knocked down to the ground. Behind the net then is McCarron. Michael McCarron now, right side. Will throw a pass back up top. Barron to McCarron. Back over then to Josi. Some offensive zone opportunity here for the Preds. Up top, Barron a shot. Saved by Thompson. Puck is kept in by the Preds. Cap cleared out shortly after. Preds get it back now on the right side. Dumping it down low into the Washington zone. Thompson back up then for Chychrun. Chychrun back to Bunting. Bunting down low now below the goal line. Michael Bunting clears it back down low. Now battling forward is Weisbot. He's cross-checked, and that'll be a penalty against the young rookie, Ryan Leonard. And yeah, happens right in front of the linesman. You can't do that. And the Predators will head to their second power play of the game. And Leonard is not a fan. It's not really that great of a penalty. I mean, it's not really that great of a play. Frank lost his skate blade. Oh, that's fun. Stayed out there and played. He didn't really do much. He didn't have to do much. Face off here now in the Washington zone, won by the Caps. Josi. Right side up top, Forsberg. Josi back to Forsberg. Comes in, fires it off the post. Played back down low now, Wood. Cleared by Wilson all the way back to center. Annunen will get it back down low then for Roman Josi behind the net. Josi will now break the puck through center. Drops it back. Coming in then now, O'Reilly. Through the zone, Forsberg. Forsberg up top, Josi. Josi to Forsberg. Forsberg back to Josi. Josi on the right side. Caps check it out to center. Here's Protas now short-handed. Alexi Protas feeds it up top. Now Dowd gets hit off the puck. Here come the Preds with speed. Whistle blown. And we have a penalty here against the Predators. And I think this one comes away from the play. And it's Marchessault who I think knocked down Protas, and I think they got into it, and Marchessault gave him a little slash. And now Nashville will head to 4-on-4, followed by a brief Capitals power play. Shots 13-12. Capitals. Face-off will come in the Washington zone. It'll be 33 seconds of 4-on-4 time, followed by about a minute 27 of Washington power play time. Down low now, Preds trying to move it through center. Willsby cross-ice pass. Through then for Haula. Haula drops it back. Evangelista dekes in, trying to move to center, back up top. Shea, down low. Up top, Shea at the point now. Back up to Evangelista. Preds trying to cycle the puck. Caps keeping him to the outside. Evangelista gets it back. Stolen back then by Washington. Beauvillier circles back around. Doesn't like his options. Will revert it back down low. Now regrouping with it is Sordiff. Back up then for Beauvillier. Anthony Beauvillier wraps it around Stamkos. Cross ice pass into the zone then Frank. Drops it back up top. Sordiff comes in. Trying to move to center. Fires it on. And that one goes off of Annunen and back all the way to center. Time winding down on the 4-on-4. Sordiff. Cross ice pass. Chikrin thrown down low then for Frank. Back to Ovechkin. Ovechkin to Sordiff. Sordiff to Ovechkin. Stolen back by the Caps. Preds will get it. And now McCarron regroups shorthanded. Backhanded all the way back into the Washington zone. Caps back on the power play here. Now Ryan Leonard trying to bring it through center. Will loop it back around now and pass over then for Strome. Strome will shoot it down into the Nashville end. Perbix. Right side to Ovechkin. Ovechkin cross ice. Blocked off the boards then. Nashville will attempt to break it through center. And a whistle blown dead here for an offsides against the Preds. Face off now won by the Capitals. Here's Ryan Leonard down the right side. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Leonard trying to backhand that one up to Wilson. Taking back now to Perbix. Perbix fighting with Leonard. Stolen back then by Hay. Cross ice pass. 2-on-0 the other way. Holla to Marchessault. Holla. Marchessault. Saved by Thompson. What a stop. It was a 2-on-0 the other way. Marchessault out of the penalty box. Tic-tac-toe. And Thompson still keeps it out. Logan Thompson in his first game back in 4. Down low now in the Washington zone. Through center, Dowd. Back up then. In the zone, Lapierre. Will throw it down low to Dowd, who is tied up on the right side up top now. TVR, a shot gloved by Annunen. What a stop by Logan Thompson. Unbelievable. From the Olympic netminder. Caps still lead 2-0. On a 2-on-0 like that for Marshy to out of the penalty box there with Holla, and Thompson bails out his team. Can't help but be happy about that, that's for sure. Thank you all for tuning in as always. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. We are 60 subscribers away from 4,500. Shots 14-13 in favor of Washington. Almost back from commercial break. Be sure to like the stream down below. It helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We'll be live for one more before the Olympic break. Up top now, Van Riemsdyk dumps it down low behind the net. Taken back then by Yossi. Cleared all the way back then into the Washington zone for an icing here against the Preds. Shots are even apiece here, so I apologize. Got that wrong. Face-off here now, won by the Caps. TVR, a shot, saved by Ananen. Down low, sort of. Dump back up to the point. TVR, pass back to Dubois. Predators regrouping now. Stolen back by the Caps. Wilson into the zone all alone. He's in. Save by Ananen. All alone makes the stop. Kept in by Washington. Protas to Dubois. Dubois up top to TVR. Pass back to Wilson now down low in the corner. Wilson trying to feed it up top. Stolen back then by the Caps. O'Reilly, a backhand pass up to nobody. And Washington steals it back. Through the zone now, Dubois. Off the boards to Lapierre, who will dump that one into the Nashville end. Broken up now at center, dumped into the zone by McCarron. Now Chikrin off the right side then, battling for it with Weisblatt. Dowd. Ahead then Roy. Roy up to Chikrin. Chikrin cross-ice pass. Duhaime shoots it on. It goes wide. There was traffic in front. Lapierre up top to Chikrin. Shoots it on, tipped. And goes wide. It went off a Predator. Now Chikrin back up top, trying to bank that one through the zone. Lapierre will clear it back into the zone. These Preds have been out there for a while. Kept in the zone, Chikrin. Chikrin. Tied up now with Weisblatt. Down low now is Shea behind the net for Wilsby. Off the boards now, Lapierre. Back to Strome. Strome. Up top. Roy. Backhanded down low. Over here now, Lapierre. Below the goal line. Feeds it up top. Roy. Right side. Down low, Ovechkin. Through his feet. Trying to deke in. A backhand goes just wide of Ananen. And cleared all the way to center. Jacob Chikrin now. What a play past Yost. Chikrin to center. Fires it. He scores! Jacob Chikrin. Wow. Wow. Jacob Chikrin. Deke around Jost. Moves to center. Shoots it past on and then 3-0 Caps. Holy crap. And you can't tell me that wasn't a message to the Olympic team for not putting them on. Oh, my Lord. What's up, Ronald? In the Nashville zone, trying to clear it back to center. Now Sandin will dump it into the zone. Nashville trying to take that puck back. Dump back down low. At the point, kept in the line then by the Capitals. Now Haig will clear that one down low into the Capitals' end. Right side now, Perbix over then for Sandin. Sandin now off the boards. Down low now, Leonard battling for it. Ryan Leonard gets it back to center. Now Beauvillier up then for Leonard. Leonard through the zone. Shoots it, gloved by Ananen. What a game tonight has been. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been pretty much all Capitals so far here tonight. Jacob Chikrin with a spin around off the boards becomes the second Caps defenseman with back-to-back 20-goal seasons. Shots 18-13 in favor of Washington. They've gotten plenty of pressure here on Onanen. Holla now on the draw against Dowd. Preds on the right side trying to clear. Shot on is denied. Back up top. TVR clears it down low to Dowd. Dowd up front, Van Riemsdyk. TVR. Pass up top to Roy. Roy fires it on. Goes wide. TVR back in front. And Lapierre could not get that puck clearly on a stick. Preds get it back. Here they come the other way. Through the zone now, Holla chips it away. Then back to Dowd down low. Lapierre off the boards to center. Predators regroup. Dumped back in then to the Capitals zone. Played off the boards now. Dowd. Cross ice pass. We are now over the halfway mark of the second period and the game. It is 3-0 Washington. Cleared back up top to center. Now Duhaime will take it back here for the Caps in their own zone. Cross ice pass broken up by Dubois. Wilson to Dubois. Dubois in front of Protas, broken up then by the Predators. Evangelista will send a pass the other way, and Stamkos couldn't get to it in time. He just loses it off his stick. And now Chychrun will backhand it here to center. Through the zone now, Dubois up top. Pierre-Luc Dubois back then. Faravari deking around then is Frank. Ethan Frank now below the goal line. Up top, Chychrun shoots it into the chest of Onanen. 8:36 left to go here in this second period. Jacob Chychrun, a goal and an assist, has had himself one hell of a night so far. 3-0 Washington. And a top corner shot there for Chychrun nonetheless. Plug in my phone. Phone's about to die. Everything's about to die. Nothing matters. We're all going to die. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new.
Genesis GB70 and GB. Get 3.99% APR for 60 months and select Genesis vehicles. Exclusively at your Philadelphia area Genesis retailer.
Winner gets the $120 million payout with top prizes of $2.5 million. Just you wait till next time.
Rematch next week?
Let's play it by ear, T-Pons.
During the President's Day mattress sale at Raymore and Flanagan, save up to $600 on top Beauty Rest Black mattresses, designed to give you unparalleled motion separation, pressure relief.
Thank you all for tuning in as always. If you're new to the channel, subscribe down below if you're new. First of two commentaries tonight. Talking to Kirk Muller. Third season as the Capitals assistant coach alongside Spencer Carberry. Again, this is a game for the Caps that doesn't really feel like it's a must-win, but certainly they need to start picking up some more wins here. Face-off now won by the Preds, cleared all the way to center. Caps just 4-5-1 in their last 10. Shot by McCarron, saved by Thompson. Off the boards now, Frank tries to clear, dump back down low behind the net. Sandin over then for Shea, who shoots it back down low. Now Holla up top to Wilsby. Backhanded down low then McCarron. Back behind the net then. Cole Smith. High cadence. Here's Wilsby. At the point, fires it on. It goes up in the air. And out of play. Shots 20-15. But a 3-0 lead for Washington. Chychrun leading the Caps in ice time. Has 45 points in 57 games played this year. He's been a phenomenal offensive defenseman. Really kind of found himself here in Washington. Was great in Arizona. Ottawa just wasn't a fit. Blackenberg back up then. Cleared back down low then Haula. Haula in the corner, battling for it then with Dubois. Up top. Down low a shot. Saved by Thompson. Banked off the boards then Chychrun. Chychrun cleared to center. Now down low here is Haig battling for with Protas. Stolen back then by Perbix. Off the boards to center. Roy. No Cap can get to it, so Nashville will get it back into the Washington zone. Roy. Off the boards to Wilson. Wilson. Looks. Tried to send that one down low. Predators attempting to clear. They'll get it back out. Caps regrouping here now in their own end. Wilson to Dubois. Dubois to Protas. Protas a backhand on save by Ananen. He'll cover. Face off here now in the Nashville zone. It's O'Reilly versus Dowd. Off the draw, blown dead. Shots 21-15. They love to just change them up on me. But what else is new? Face off again now in the Washington zone. Down low now, Josi. Will clear all the way to center. Duhaime back to Sandin. Rasmus Sandin now down low below the goal line. Trying to loop that one back around. Breaks it out through center. Sandin. Cross ice. Van Riemsdyk trying to come in. Battling for it now down low. Off the boards. Stamkos. Intercepted then by the Preds. Josi through center. A backhand on. Saved by Thompson. Rebound was there for O'Reilly. Couldn't convert. Cleared all the way back to center now. Josi will regroup here for the Preds. Roman Josi then breaks it through center. Pass up then to Evangelista. Stolen back then by the Capitals. Now Beauvillier. Back down low here as the Capitals regroup in their own end. Puck is banked all the way back into the Nashville zone. Off the boards now, Dow battling for with Waugh. Now back to Nick Dowd, who feeds it up top. Leonard will clear that one back into the Nashville zone. Shea behind the net, tried to throw a pass in front. Weisblatt backhands it around then for Josi. Josi to Shea. Shea comes in, fires it off of Roy. Puck goes off his skate. Back around then behind the net. Yost. Stolen back then by Washington. Cleared up to center. 5.5 minutes to go here in the second period. Ryan Leonard with speed. Knocked off the puck. Backhanded out to center. Now here comes Jost. Jost on the breakaway. Fires it. Save. Rebounds in front. Denied by Thompson. Logan Thompson making a statement. Here's Ryan Leonard back ahead then for McCarron. Through the zone, Haula. Drop pass down low then to Marchessault. Marchessault loops around up top. Shot on is blocked there by Haig. Haig behind the net then for Haula. Haula feeds it up top. Perbix. Back down low. A stick taken to the face. A whistle blown. And a penalty coming up here against the Predators, I believe. And somebody took a high stick down low. Eric Haula will go to the box. And Washington will get power play number 4. here with 4:45 left to go in the third period. What a game for Logan Thompson so far. I don't know why my cough is acting up right now.
I said, if a player like McKinnon did that, there would be no outrage, only praise. Lo and behold, Drysdale does the same thing, even worse. Oh my God, what an awesome leader. Hold the team accountable. Oh my God, James, what a horrible lesson. What a horrible leader. Horrible teammate. I don't care that Drysdale is top 5. Where the fuck is the standard?
Spat out mucus on my freaking... on my stupid sweatshirt. Dang it. That's annoying. Capitals power play coming up. It'll be their 4th of the game. Eric Holla to the box for a slash up high. Well, I mean a high stick. Oh my gosh. Burping. All right. Capitals power play here. 4th of the game. Looking to make it 4-0 in favor of Washington. Off the draw, Nashville gets it, trying to clear the one around. Now penalty coming up against the Capitals, so that immediately ends that. And Sordiff takes a penalty off of the draw. And now we will head to 4-on-4. So that lasted long. That did not last long at all. Wow. Minor penalty for hooking. And yeah, it's a hook. You look at that penalty, sort of hits the glass with a stick. But yeah, that's a hook. He gets him in there. And yeah. Yep. So not a good call there for Sordiff. Caps with a 3-0 lead. Face off now in the Washington zone. It's Dubois taking the draw against O'Reilly. Chychrun below the goal line. Back to Dubois. Dubois now through center. Tried to send a pass down low then for Sandin. Stolen back then by the Preds. O'Reilly to Forsberg. Forsberg sends it up top to Shea. Preds come out to center now. They'll regroup with the puck. Again, it is 4-on-4. Shea. Back to Forsberg. Forsberg to Shea. Broken up then by the Caps before it even gets into the zone. Now they regroup here in their own end. Down low, Sandin. Sandin pass up to Wilson. Wilson, 2-on-3. Cross ice pass to Chychrun. Moves to center. Now Dubois will throw it back in front. Stolen back then by Josi. Through center now, Stamkos. Stamkos cross ice pass. Evangelista. Up top, Haig to Josi. Josi loops around now up top. Drop back down low then Evangelista. And Nashville comes back to center. Luke Evangelista drops it back then for Josi. Josi, right side, behind the net up top. Haig down low. Evangelista can't shoot it. It's not directly on a stick. 30 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Haig will drop it back to Evangelista. This feels like overtime right now. Evangelista up top for Haig. Haig fires it, and that one goes wide of Thompson. Cleared all the way back into the Nashville zone. Regrouping now with it is Perbix. Nick Perbix down low. Cross ice pass then for Marchessault. Loses it. Now a break the other way. It's Beauvillier into the zone. Comes in. Saved by Onanen. Nashville gets it back. We are back to even strength here in Washington. Pass to center. Broken up then by the Preds. They keep it in the zone. Wilsby up top. Barron fires it. Blocked. Now Beauvillier battling for it. Was he a Predator? Why do I feel like he was a Nashville Predator? Tipped in front. They score. Jonathan Marchessault puts one past Thompson finally. And the Preds are on the board. It's 3-1. And they might look at this one for either a high stick or a goalie interference. I'm not sure. Give him a chance to look at this. Assist on the goal will be Haula and Weisblatt. Nope, Caps don't look like they'll challenge it. So Marchessault breaks the shutout. His 10th goal of the season from Haula and Wilsby. And it's 3-1. Puck is deflected down low into the Washington zone and blown dead for a high stick, I believe is the call. Regardless of that, really good game by Logan Thompson. Sucks that it ends that way off of that kind of goal. But regardless of that, oh yeah, that's offsides. Couldn't really tell. Thompson, 18 saves on 19 shots, 948. And then 19 saves on 22 shots, 864. Again, Annanen in his Watch with Nordic debut, the 85th goaltender to play games in live commentaries. Forsberg pass back, stolen back by the Caps. It's Frank on the breakaway. He's in! Saved by Annanen. Cleared back away out to center. Ethan Frank, one of the fastest skaters in the NHL. Here's Shea now, banks it off the boards to center. Dumped all the way back down low into the Washington end. Stolen back then by McCarron down low. Now Duhaime back up to Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk will clear to center. Now Nashville in their own end will try and break that one through. Stamkos right side then for Cole Smith, dumping it down low. Chychrun will try and bank it out. Now Duhaime on the right side. O'Reilly up top. Cross ice pass to Haig. Puck will slide out to center. Preds will dump it back down low. We are approaching the final minute of play in the second period. Down low now, Dubois battling for it with Stamkos. It is worth noting Nashville has the second most comebacks in the NHL this season. Here's Forsberg, a shot gloved by LT. Face-off coming here now in the Washington zone. It's won by the Caps, cleared to center. Sordiff back to Wilson. Wilson kind of loses the puck, taken back then by the Preds. Off the boards now, Evangelista. Evangelista dumps it down low. Thompson will take a loose puck and cover. Not allowing anything there. Feel like there's something in my throat. Face off here now in the Washington zone. Preds now get on the right side. Marchessault at the point, fires it on. It goes wide. Now down low trying to clear. Yossi. 25 seconds to go. 3-on-2 for the Caps. Sandin dumps it down low. Beauvillier battling for it then with Barron. 10 seconds left. Against the boards now. Beauvillier gets it back. Fires it on. Save. Puck will slide all the way back into the Washington zone, and that will do it for the second period. End of 40 here in Washington. Jacob Chychrun and Jonathan Marchessault make it a 3-1 hockey game here in favor of the Capitals through 40 minutes of play. Third period coming up in just a moment, and it should be a good one here for sure. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for the start of the third period momentarily. As always, thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you are new. We'll do our intermission report here in just a moment. I'm going to give myself a moment to catch my breath, and then we'll go over the goals that went down. We'll go over the other games in the NHL as well. So stay tuned for that here in just a moment. Love coughing.
The 120 million payout with top prizes of 2.5 million. Oh, it's on. Just you wait till next time.
Rematch next week?
Let's play it by ear.
Designed to give you unparalleled motion separation, pressure relief, individualized support, and temperature management. Plus, enjoy.
All right, second period is in the books here from Washington as the Capitals have a 3-1 lead on the Nashville Predators. Here you take a look at the current stats and everything that is going on. Jacob Chychrun with that third goal did a spinorama move on Yost, moved to center, fired it top corner on Justice Annunen to give the Capitals a 3-0 lead. Unassisted goal, absolutely nasty. Probably one of the nicer goals we've seen in a commentary stream overall, if I do say so myself. So Jacob Chikrin gets himself on the board there. Then Nashville answered back. And now they are on the board. It is Jonathan Marchessault with a little tip in front as the Predators were moving the puck around. It was Hollow then with Wilsby. Just fires it on. Marchessault gets the rebound. And it's a 3-1 hockey game.
We'll watch the highlights today down from the goaltenders to goals that they scored the Capitals on the 2-goal lead. Guys, what'd you make their middle point? High volume. That was fun.
You know what? I just liked that the Caps were pretty solid. They were, they didn't allow the game to get away from between the blue lines. They still played strong in the
now
boards.
what a play pass,
And,
Yost.
a lot of high volume.
Chikrin to center,
Yeah,
fires
it
it.
was a lot of high volume.
Center.
The best thing I like is Gil didn't get nothing
Now
on
what
it.
a
They
play
look
pass,
like they
Yost.
are
Chikrin to center,
all
fires
cylinders
it.
go. Chemistry is still going like it was at the
Chikrin to
beginning
center,
of the
fires
season.
it.
And then we gotta say L2.
I was going to say, L2
Chikrin now, what a play pass,
It
Yost.
could be a
Chikrin
different
to
score
center,
this time.
fires
I
it.
mean,
He
it's so
scored!
Jacob
Chikrin.
Let's take a look
Wow.
at those second
All right. It was definitely a better second period there for Washington. Caps didn't play too bad, though.
Moves to center, shoots it past Donovan, 3-0 Caps.
Yeah, I really thought that Washington was probably the better team there in that period, although the shots were close. It did seem like Washington was getting the better offensive chances. They were having more offensive zone pressure. A lot of penalties in those first few minutes as well. You see how, obviously in that sequence there were 4. One of them was a 4-on-4. Actually, I think both of them ended up becoming 4-on-4s at one point. So both teams powered plays. Washington at least could convert on one of them. Predators are 0 for 3 tonight.
I'm going to take this one. It wasn't a pretty shot. It wasn't an inner slot shot. You get pucks to the paint. You just throw pucks to the net. You've got a presence down there, Marchessault. And when you do that, you're going to get lucky enough to score goals. That goes off the inside of the stick just like you can. I don't think so, but that's why you get shots and pucks to the net.
Oh, I got blow my nose. So we'll be live for Golden Knights and Kings. That'll be the later game here on our 2-game slate. As I load up the other scores around the NHL here through 40 minutes of play. Thank you all for tuning in. We just crossed over the 1,000 view mark for this commentary stream. Thank you all again for your continued support. All right. I'm going to blow my nose real quick, then we'll go over the other games. Subscribe down below if you're new. We are nearly 60 subscribers away from 4,500, which is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. All right.
Jacob Chikrin didn't see the puck go in the net. He must be nearsighted because his head was up the whole time. There was a laser below the bar. Maybe it was just too fast.
Apparently the goalie didn't see it, right? Just moved it, but I think the Capitals just need to hold in the driver's seat. They're up by 2.
All right, other games around the NHL. Currently, Penguins and Sabres is 3-1 Penguins. At the end of 40 minutes of play, Ben Kindle picks up an unassisted goal, makes it 3-1 Penguins. Devils and Islanders is 1-1. Casey Cizikas and Nico Hischier with the goals in that second period. Hurricanes and Rangers still a 1-0 lead for the Hurricanes. Shots 29-10. So the Rangers only with 10 shots through 40 minutes of play. Yeah, the post-Panarin era is not going to treat New York well, I can tell you that much. Senators, Flyers, 1-0 Sens. Nick Cousins gets Ottawa on the board. Philadelphia with just 8 shots through 40 minutes of play there as well. And then Panthers and Lightning, 3 goals on 10 shots for Tampa Bay. 3 goals on 10 shots. Not great. Midway through that second period, Hagel, Gergensons, and Jake Gensel make it a 3-0 lead for Washington. All right, let me update the all-time score sheet.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash.
All right. So Jacob Chikrin, the unassisted goal. Chikrin picks up his 5th goal in a commentary stream, his 11th point overall. With the goal and an assist, Chikrin now has 2 multi-point games. He is the only player tonight with a multi-point performance. That is Jonathan Marchessault's first goal and point in a commentary stream. Again, we do have to mention that we have only streamed the Capitals or the Predators a handful of times. But again, that's the fun in it. I mean, I talk about this every game when we stream teams, especially teams that we haven't streamed that much. You got to stream all 32. That's the promise that I give out here to everybody. I understand I could have went with, like, Florida versus Tampa Bay tonight and just called it a night, or went with, like, I don't know, what's another game tonight? Devils, Islanders. I think that game could have did good. But if I just go with the good game every time, how am I going to grow the fan bases of my other teams? And how is it fair to everybody else who, maybe they're not the highlight game whenever I'm streaming? So I try to balance things out and keep track of when I have streamed teams last. It doesn't mean I won't go down the road of, like picking the good games. Obviously, we will at points. But even like on days like this, it's just like, you know what? We just want to do it for the fun and commentate all 32. I think it makes it better, honestly. And we're garnering recognition from all the fan bases.
It's like they have the whole concourse to themselves. How does that happen? Caps and Predators trading goals in that second period at 3-1 Washington. MSC
Oh, just lost Wi-Fi on my computer. That's fun.
Giant is open for bidding. Download the hand bid app or scan the QR code to make a donation or bid on autographed Black History Month jerseys, signed pucks, and more. Proceeds benefit the Capital Impact Fund as well as the Rising Stars Academy. The auction will close at 3 p.m. Saturday. Bid or donate now. Caps Intermission Live, Joe Beninati, Frank Laughlin, Obi-Wan Kenobi, help me, you're my only hope. The ultimate force of hockey domination, right here. You're my only hope. Defensively for Washington, what would you like to see? Watch for the cherry pickers. They're going to try to open up and look for breakaways, stifle that, and the Caps and Obi-Wan Kenobi will win tonight. Very good. Ethan Frank, birthday boy, wearing a microphone for us, presented by Coupang and still giving plenty of instruction.
Ugh.
That would have been the coup de grace of the night for Ethan Frank as we share tonight's Ticketmaster fan cam Star Wars night in DC. Down the stretch of period 3 in just a few moments.
Mm.
Make an easy switch to Diamond Credit Union. What if you prefer it should be? On you. At Diamond, we connect your business with a personalized, dedicated approach to what traditional banks can offer. We meet you where you are, right inside your community, where we've been serving our members since 1947. We're working together and growing together. Our ambition meets we're best in class and best in community.
Tomorrow we are doing an NCAA stream between the Michigan Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans. I could not be more excited for that game tomorrow. It should be a really good one. So if you want to be able to be there to tune in, you better subscribe down below if you're new. Also, turn on notifications. I always forget to mention that. When you turn on notifications, you will get the notification that we're live. And you will not miss a single stream. Always forget to mention that. All right, third period coming up in just a moment. Stick around, guys. Subscribe if you're new down below. What a great second period that was. I appreciate your guys' support here so far, and now we wind down here for the third. Quick reminder, we'll be live today and tomorrow. Tomorrow is Golden Knights and Kings. Tomorrow is Michigan versus Michigan State. All right. Still in commercial break. Hey! What the hell? All right, let's get ready for the start of period number 3 between the Washington Capitals and the Nashville Predators. Second period recap. Goals were scored by Jacob Chychrun and Jonathan Marchessault as Washington has a 3-1 lead on Nashville. Stats through 40. Shots 24-21 Capitals. Face-off percentage 55.9% in favor of the Predators. Power plays, Washington 1 for 4, Predators 0 for 3. Hits are 15-12 Predators, and block shots are 10-6 in favor of the Caps. Third period is underway. Face-off won by the Capitals. Now Sandin will drop it back down low. Cross-ice pass off the boards. Preds take it back. Marchessault now through center to Josi. Josi pass over, and Thompson can't complete. At the point now, shot back wide. Puck in front, a chance there for Holla is denied by Thompson. Here come the Preds now the other way. Yossi dumps it back down low then into the Washington zone. It's blown dead for a icing, I believe. Not 100% sure on that. Face off here now in the Washington zone, won by the Preds. O'Reilly back over then for Haig, who will dump it down low now into the Washington zone. Right side then for Duhaime. Brandon Duhaime back over to Roy. Roy up top. A shot. They score! Nick Dowd! A one-timer. And the Capitals regain their 3-goal lead 4-1. Great shot from up top. Good passing play by the Washington third line. And they immediately get the ball rolling here in period number 3. Just past the blocker side. And that's a pretty goal there for Matt Roy. And the Caps are up by 3. Assist on that Dowd goal is Roy and Duhaime. Dowd is 5th goal of the season. And now there is a coach's challenge coming up here for offsides. So they're going to challenge the play here, see if a player crossed the line before. Huh. So it might be the NHL reviewing this. We'll take a look here. And, yup. Ooh, that's kind of close. Yeah, this goal may be coming back, guys. Yeah, this is probably going to come back. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. We do these commentary streams every single week. Also, like the stream as well. And are they not going to... They're not taking this back, really? Oh, now they are calling it. Now they are officially challenging it for offsides. They weren't before. They are now. I see it. And again, the puck has to completely cross the goal line before anybody else can cross from the offensive team. And seeing this, to me, it certainly looks like it is offsides. It's close. It's close. I think it comes back. It's really close. That's why this is taking a bit longer than what it usually would. They're going through to the situation room in Toronto as well. Zoom in here, see if Duhaime crosses completely. Yeah. Yeah. That's so close, though. That is so insanely close. It's right down to a crisp. It might not be conclusive enough, but all right, here's the call. It was offsides, no goal. Successful coach's challenge by the Nashville Predators. And they get one called back. Stays 3-1. So it took them a while to look at that. Face-off here now outside of the Nashville zone. 19 minutes left to go, CJ. 19 minutes. Down low now here in the Predators' end. Shea will dump it around. Back to the blue line. Here's Cole Smith. Down low now, Predators will bring it back through center, dumping it down low into the Washington end. Chychrun battling for it then. Down low, McCarron trying to get it to center, jabbing at Thompson. They score! Michael McCarron jabs it past the pad of Thompson, and don't look now. It's 3-2. I love how CJ says that, and then they score. Should be a delay of game for how long it took. Well, I mean, obviously, if it came back to be a no-goal, then yes, that would be a delay of game. But since it was a good call. Michael McCarron in front, just jabbing on Thompson. Finally gets it across the goal line. His 5th goal of the season, 3-2. Cleared all the way back then into the Washington zone for an icing, even though the Preds got to the puck first. And suddenly this game went from looking like the Capitals were pretty much putting it away to now it's a 1-goal hockey game here. So things just got extremely interesting. McCarron just 12 points on the year. 5th goal of the season tonight in 56 games played. Face-off won in the Predator zone by the Caps up top. Faravari comes in. Pass down low to Wilson. Can't get there in time. Now here come the Preds the other way. Forsberg through the zone. Trying to move to center. Pass down low then for Barron, who joins the rush. Stolen back then by Washington. Cleared back into the Predators' end. Yossi drops it back to Barron. Barron will dump that one now into the Washington zone. Right side, Preds keep it in. Forsberg trying to fire that one on. Taken back now behind the net, Chychrun. Chychrun will backhand that one off the boards all the way to center. Now Protas. Protas to center. Alexi Protas will clear that one around then behind the net. Puck slides just at the goal line, kept in by Washington. Now Barron. Back to Yossi. Nashville breaks it through center. Evangelista trying to bring that one down low. Evangelista up top. Perbix. Puck comes out to center. Capitals will clear to center. Predators now regrouping here in their own end. Banked off the boards. And dumped all the way down low into the Washington end. Right side, Bavillier back for Sordiff. Sordiff will clear to center. It's McCarron's goal assisted by Cole Smith. And Adam Wilsby, multi-point game for Wilsby, has 2 assists tonight. Bavillier now on the right side, back to Leonard. Stolen back then by the Predators and cleared to center. Here off the boards then, McCarron dumps it down low. Bunting battling with the puck. Cleared back down low now, and Roy trips. Now Bavillier off the boards now, down low in the corner. Back over to Roy. Matt Roy up to Bavillier. Bavillier trying to circle that puck around. Shots are dead even here. Bunting. Drop back then for Holla. Now the Preds can't really get into the Washington zone. Taken back then by Protas. Protas back to Roy. Roy to Faravari. Faravari to Protas. Banked into the Nashville zone. Barron will backhand that one all the way to center. Protas trying to get that one around to Barron. Intercepted then by Washington in their own zone. Here's Van Riemsdyk now through center. TVR gets it back. Battling forward and around Barron now. Delayed penalty coming up here against the Predators, I think I read. And the whistle is blown. And Washington is going to go to the power play. 95% sure that's what I heard. Referees are going to talk about this here. I didn't see the call necessarily, so we'll have to go back and review, see exactly what this is. Shots 24-24. Predators penalty box is open. We'll see what the verdict is here. Yossi talking. Yossi and Ovechkin talking. Ovechkin talking to Sutherland. Now Stamkos comes in to talk. Now Sutherland's talking to the referee, who was talking to Strome. Just a bunch of discussions here on the ice. Doesn't even sound like they're playing music. Both penalty box doors are open. Could this be some kind of 4-on-4? No penalty on the play. And we'll just carry on. Okay. Face-off coming here now in the neutral zone. 15 and a half minutes to go. Washington with a 1-goal lead here on the Preds. Don't forget, we'll be live for Kings and Golden Knights. Face-off now won by Washington. Van Riemsdyk back to Sandin. Sandin will dump it down low. Yossi try to feed a pass to center. Dowd up top to TVR. Down low then. Frank up top. Sandina's shot. Save in front. Annunen. And no rebound allowed. Nice little shot there up top. 25 shots on the game for the Capitals. Take a look at the goaltender stats here. Starting off with Annunen. 22 saves on 25 shots. 880 save percentage. Thompson, 22 saves on 24 shots, a 917. And then in relief for Saros, who played last night against the Wild. Thompson starting his first and 4. Capitals were rolling Clay Stevenson and Gavin Bjorklund. Stevenson, I believe, played on Monday against the Islanders. Here's Bunting now on the right side, banked off the boards then by Shea. Down low in the zone now, Jacob Chychrun. Chychrun pass ahead then. Off the boards, Caps keep it in. Beauvillier tries to fire that one on. Back down low now to the corner. Here's Smith. Back up then for Shea. Smith will dump that one into the Washington zone. Now behind the net over then for Beauvillier, battling forward alongside McCarron, who has a goal tonight. Fires it on Thompson, blocked in front. Played back down low now. Smith battling forward with Sordiff. Bunting gets it back. Up top, Haig. Haig will fire it on, goes wide. Now behind the net then, Capitals trying to pick it up. Cleared around behind the net. Fed up top then. Weisblatt. Back to Haig. Haig, who was acquired from the Vegas Golden Knights in the offseason. Now down low, Bunting up top. Shot! Blocked there as Perbix tried to get a shot on. Played back up top. Nick Perbix. Perbix, cross-ice pass to Haig. Haig trying to dump it down low. Poke checked away then by Sordiff. Back to center. Now Weisblatt will bank that one into the Washington zone. Faravari battling forward here in the corner alongside the likes of Weisblatt. Caps take it back. Roy, pass to center. Huge hit there at center ice by Wilson. And a whistle is blown. What's up, Baun? Weisblatt is looking like he's hurt. He will head to the bench, and I think a penalty's coming up here against the Caps. As Predators getting into it there with Wilson having to pull him away. And a hit there by Wilson. 13:34 left to go. 3-2 Washington. Tom Wilson, what a goon. Yeah, brings that physical presence for sure, but he can be useful. But yeah, off that hit at center. I'd have to see it again. But we know Wilson's just like that. Yeah, but that part of his game definitely makes him more valuable when you're talking like a guy you want to have that can not only produce offense but also kind of play that physical side as well. But even playing that physical side, sometimes it can cost you. I wonder if they're reviewing this, because I don't see a penalty popping up on my screen here. Unless if they blew the play dead for something else. May have been offsides. I'm not 100% sure. So it doesn't look like there will be a penalty on this play. I thought there was going to be. It must have been blown dead for something else. And we'll see if Nashville retaliates. Face-off now won by the Capitals. Dumped into the Nashville zone. Chychrun. Down low to Protas. Protas down low to Dubois. Back to Wilson. Wilson to Protas now. Clears it around back up top. Down low. Battling for it then. Protas with Yossi. Dubois trying to get it free. Nashville attempting to get out of the zone. Kept in then by the Caps. Protas in front of shot. Goes up and out of play. Alexi Protas was wide open in front, but could not convert. Tom Wilson just wants to be a talented Domi. That's close enough. Face-off now is won by the Predators. 3-on-2 the other way. Stamkos to O'Reilly, tipped in front. Now bringing in, then down the right side. A backhand is Wilsby. Denied by Thompson. He's had a hell of a game tonight. Caps trying to bring it through center. Banked into the zone by Frank. On and out of his net. Will play it back around the right side. Now Stamkos battling for it with Dowd. It is in his skates. Trying to break it free. Kick back down low then. Now Shea. Grabs the puck. Brady Shea now through center. Will dump that one down low. Thompson behind his own net up top. Shot on tipped. Save by LT. Shots are 25 apiece. Well, now 26-25. Down low here now in the Capital zone. Sandin off the boards then for Chychrun. Jacob Chychrun behind the Washington net. Banked out to center. Dumped all the way back into the Nashville end. Now Annunen off the boards. Through center, McCarron. McCarron already with a goal tonight. Comes back down low. McCarron feeds it up top. Stolen back then by Leonard. Leonard now through center. Dekes in. What a move. Waits. Fires it just wide. And a whistle blown here. Puck must have went out of play or something. Oh no, there was a hit or a fight that was happening off the play and a whistle's blown. Tonight is commentary stream number 164. All-time number 84 of the season. McCarron and Van Riemsdyk going at it. I didn't see the play. So I don't believe any penalties there off of that sequence. But two teams going at each other there. Face-off outside of the Nashville zone. Puck is won back into the Predators' end. Nashville will now regroup. Down low, Barron. Tried to clear to center. Flicked up then for Dubois. Dubois now in his own zone. First game back since Halloween. Pierre-Luc Dubois. Right side, clears it into the zone. Battling for it now with Barron, who kind of gets checked in the head there a little bit. Wilson, right side, back to Protas. Protas up top. Roy to Protas. Protas pass in front. Wilson a shot. And it goes wide. Preds pick it back up, then they move to center. Marchessault will backhand that one into the Capital zone. Now Roy back to Wilson. Wilson off the boards, then down low. Washington trying to move it through center. Approaching the halfway mark of the third period. Capitals lead by a goal. Off the boards, Chychrun. Dumps it back then into the Nashville zone. Off the boards, behind the net, Brady Shea. Shea now intercepted at the center line. Now Duhaime drops it back. Frank to Dowd, a shot save by Annunen once again. Face off here now. Cleared all the way out to center. Icing here against the Predators with 10:05 left to go. Ovi needs to retire already. Hey, don't be disrespecting Ovi. 10:05 left to go. Face off in the Predators zone. Chychrun leading ice time tonight, 25 minutes. And we know Chychrun loves to log up that ice time, that's for sure. Preds now through center. Shea will dump it down low into the zone now behind the net, Chychrun. Capitals will move it to center. 2-on-2. Leonard dekes around, loses an edge. And it's blown dead for a penalty. And I think that will be a call for sure. So we will now see Washington head to the power play. I believe. Yep, penalty coming up. And even though both of them fell on the sequence, Brady Shea will go to the sin bin. And now we will see Washington head to the power play. Well, yeah, 41, and he's still killing it. Come on, Nashville. Yeah, man, we'll see if they can get the win. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Capitals power play coming up. And a chance to kind of put the game away, maybe. But big power play coming up. Thank you all for your support tonight. This is only our third time streaming the Nashville Predators. Each team's records all time in live commentaries. Nashville, they are 1-1 in live commentaries before tonight. Capitals 6-3-3 in 12 previous commentaries. Who do I got in the Stanley this year? I have a feeling Tampa will win. Tampa's been cooking recently. I wouldn't mind seeing the Bolts get a dub. Washington power play coming up now. Have a great evening. See you, Bon. No problem, man. I do it for y'all. Face off here now in the Nashville zone. Strome taking the draw against McCarron. Face off won by the Caps. Leonard kicks it with his feet to Chychrun. Tip back down low now behind the net. Wilson. Wilson off the boards to Strome. Strome up top. Leonard back down low. Predators will attempt to clear. Jabbing at that puck. It's in Leonard's feet. Wilson trying to poke check it in. It comes out. Now racing with speed is Smith. Cole Smith brings it in shorthanded. Smith dekes around now. He's tied up. Now O'Reilly back around behind the net. Gets hit then by Wilson. Kind of a pile up here behind the net. Stolen back then by Strome. Here come the Caps the other way. 4-on-3. Strome dumps it into the zone. Nearly went on Annan in there. Stolen back then by the Preds. Here's O'Reilly. Misses the pass. And regrouping now is Washington yet again. Shots 27-26 in favor of Washington. Cleared all the way back into the Nashville zone. Down low now, Willsby back over then for Sordiff. Kept in the zone by Chychrun. Chychrun backhands it down low. Ovechkin a shot into the chest of Annunen. Face off again now in the Nashville zone. Here's Sandin, shot off of Annunen back down low. Kept in then by Ovechkin. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Stolen back by the Preds. McCarron knocks it off Ovi. Nice little move there for Michael McCarron. Here's Sandin now dropping it back for Pierre-Luc Dubois. Dubois off the boards now back in the Nashville end. Battling forward in the corner now alongside him is Cole Smith. Predators will chip it to center. Puck will slide all the way back into the Washington zone. Sandin now back behind the net. That will do it for the Capitals power play. Kind of a missed opportunity. Sandin. Back over then, Roy. Dumps it into the zone. Here come the Preds through center. Jost. Dumps it back down low. Faravari battling forward with Hala. Bavillier. Up then for Duhaime. 2-on-2. Banked into the Nashville zone. Back over then around the right side. Jost. To Marchessault. 2-on-2. 7 minutes to go. Drop back then for the Caps. Bavillier. We'll clear that one down low into the zone. And a whistle is blown here. A penalty coming up again against the Predators. No, Robin Lehner hasn't been in the NHL in almost 6 years. Yep, penalty coming up again against the Preds. And a costly penalties being taken here by Nashville. And now Washington will head to the power play for the 6th time tonight. Thankfully, the Caps power play has struggled on most accounts. Ovechkin up top to Chychrun. Chychrun at the point. Moves into center. A shot. He scores! Making you pay. Jacob Chychrun. And now they're scrumming with each other. And it's 4-2 Caps. Jacob Chychrun power play goal. His second of the night. Jacob Chychrun, his 7th shot of the hockey game, assisted by Strome and Ovechkin. 3-point night for Chychrun, 2 points for Strome. Ovechkin gets the assist as well. 4-2. And yeah, you keep on taking penalties, a guy like Jacob Chychrun will make you pay. What a game tonight by Chychrun. 2 goals tonight. 4-2. That's a pretty one. And that's not even his best goal tonight. Face off here now at center. Won by the Preds. Now they'll regroup. 6:40 left to go in the third. You know what? When a team like that takes as many penalties as they do, and you give that team as much opportunities as you did, I feel like you got to think that, I always think to myself, I'm like, man, they're going to score, aren't they? And that's what happened there. Down low now here in the Nashville zone. Josi through center. 6 minutes to go in the third. Keep an eye out for Annunen. They probably will pull him unless there's another goal here for the Caps. Protas, 2-on-2. Alexi Protas back to Wilson. Down low then for Dubois. Can't complete. Am I doing the late game? Yes, I am. I am doing Kings and Knights. Bunting in front of shot. Doesn't get fully on. Puck will slide all the way back to center. Now Josi regroups here in the Preds end. Josi back to Bunting. Bunting backhanded down low behind the net. Pass in front. And Bunting can't convert. Backhanded out to center by Leonard. We are approaching crunch time. Crunch time is when it's a tie game or the game is within a goal of each other. 5 minutes left. Now here's Bavillier. 1-on-2. Anthony Bavillier. Pass back. Deking in. What a move by Leonard. Couldn't complete it. Now the Preds get it back. Here's Forsberg through center. Philip Forsberg stolen back then by Sordiff. Sordiff fires it into the chest of Annunen. And that is Washington's 30th shot of the game. We'll go to commercial break for probably the last time. 5:09 left to go. Jacob Chychrun is killing it. No problem, Sharky. Hope it went well for you.
Salmon, you'll feel the difference that a more personalized, dedicated approach can make. We meet you where you are, right inside your community, where we've been serving our members since 1947. Where local meets meet family trees. Where high tech meets high. And where I wish means here's how. That's unity. That's Diamond Credit Union.
Also wanted a hotel with an ocean view. Then he found a vacation rental in the ocean front yard. Easily find your stay. Expedia. Book now.
Hey there, folks. Medy's here. Watch me work, babe. I'm sure they're here to see the commissioner of coverage. When health insurance doesn't cover everything, what's the move?
What commission means that Aflac gives you cash to help with all those medical bills.
We think you're amazing. I came to see you, huh?
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with an official sponsor of ESPN College Games.
How do we get Aflac?
Man, they gotta ask about it at work.
They are.
Is your asthma rescue a dinosaur? Air Super is the only asthma rescue inhaler FDA approved to treat symptoms and help.
Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new.
Jacob wouldn't mind that. Alexa wouldn't mind it at all. He has his 11th career three-point game. He's done that now 4 times as a member of the Cats. The Fury has been unleashed. The Cats have a 2-goal advantage with 5:09 to play.
He's going to eat the break. He's played 27 minutes already in a regulation game.
Face off here now in the Nashville zone. Cleared all the way to center. I don't even know for the Lady Bing. It's usually a mix of a bunch of different players. 5 minutes to go in this regulation hockey game. Chikrin takes it around now behind the net. Jacob Chikrin tries to clear. Back up then for Duhaime. Dowd dumps it down low. Haig behind the net. Nick Haig off the boards, cleared all the way back into the Washington zone for an icing. And a penalty coming up here against the Caps. A lot of calls here tonight. So we will now see Nashville go to the power play for the 4th time tonight. They are 0 for 3. I wonder if they'll maybe try and pull. Since they are down by 2, they will stay 5-on-4 for now. Face-off won by Nashville. Yossi back down low, trying to wrap that one around. Now Roy will attempt to clear O'Reilly. Down low. Pass back Evangelista to Stamkos. Over. Bunting a shot. Saved by Thompson. Down low now Stamkos. Behind the net then. Back over for Forsberg battling for it. Puck goes up on top of the netting. On top of the net. Don't see that too often. O'Reilly versus Dowd. In the Washington zone, 1:30 to go on the power play. Face-off won by the Preds. So good, they clear it back into their own zone. And in and out of his net now. Played ahead then for Forsberg. Forsberg cross-ice pass then. Stamkos. Up top, Yossi. Yossi to Evangelista. Luke Evangelista now up top. Yossi down low. A minute to go on the power play. Yossi to Evangelista, and there goes Annunen. 6 on 5 here for Nashville. Evangelista. Back up top, Yossi. Yossi to Evangelista. Waits, shoots it. Blocked. Caps get it back to center. New players get on the ice. Evangelista through the zone now to Forsberg. Forsberg up top, O'Reilly to Yossi. Back down low, O'Reilly to Forsberg. Forsberg up top. Preds carefully moving this puck. Forsberg down low, O'Reilly pass in front. Saved by Thompson. Bavillier will clear that one. It will not be enough for an icing because it's on the power play for the Preds. Chip back into the Washington zone. Cleared down the other way. Going for the empty net. Just wide. Not enough for an icing. Still on the power play. Protas takes it back around. Will look for the empty net. And just being tied up by numerous Nashville players. Puck is cleared back down low. Chychrun looking now for the empty net. He shoots it wide. And power play concludes. Let me just fix this super quick. There we go. 6 on 5. Banked all the way back down low then into the Washington zone. Preds have it up top. Yossi up top. Bunting a shot. Save. Rebounds there. Now Duhaime battling for it. Racing for it then is Chychrun. Under 2 minutes to go in regulation. Puck is cleared all the way back to center. Not enough for an icing. A minute 40 to go. Yossi down the right side. Pass in front. Saved by Thompson. Rebound kick back up to the point. Up top. Yossi. Down low then Bunting. Bunting to Yossi. Fires it. Blocked. Puck is cleared all the way back to center. Yossi looks tired. Racing forward is Frank. He'll battle with Yossi. Feeds a pass in front. Stolen back then by the Preds. We're approaching the final minute of play in regulation. Still 4-2 Washington. Bunting battling forward with Chychrun. Stolen back then by Shea. Pass in front. Deflected. Saved by Thompson. Up top, Bunting. Bunting in the final minute of play. Up top to Shea. Shea to Bunting. Shoots it. Down low now to the corner. O'Reilly. To the point then. Shea. Shea to O'Reilly. Saved by Thompson. Battling for now on the right side. Evangelista. Back down low. Off the boards now behind the net. Roy. Trying to play it back for Dubois. Now Chychrun gets it. He'll shoot for the empty net. It's tipped by Shea. Can't get there. Whistle is blown dead then for a high stick. And Chychrun tried to go for the H word. Jacob Chychrun, have yourself a night. 2 goals, 1 assist. Nashville still with an empty net. And he's out there on the ice. Net is no longer empty. Annunen's back in. Face off. Down low now, less than 20 to go. Jost will bank to center. Taken back then by Sandin, who will clear that one into the zone. Now Shea. Back down low for Willsby. 5 seconds left. And Washington to cap it off before the Olympic break. Get the 4-2 win. Jacob Chychrun, a 3-point performance. 2 goals and an assist. And welcome back Logan Thompson. Final score, Capitals 4 and the Predators 2. Well-played game there on all accounts. Pierre-Luc Dubois with a goal back. Chychrun had 2. Wilson had a goal. And now both teams will head into the Olympic break. 2 big points there for the Caps. And they stay alive in the Eastern Conference playoff race. All right, that will do it for me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. We will be live in about 7 minutes or so for Golden Knights and Kings, so I have to get to that here in a moment. But thank you all for tuning in. We are about to cross over the 2,000 view mark on this stream. I appreciate that. I will see you guys in the next stream.